Hi, I'm Angela Sharp with STL TV. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and joining me now is Cynthia Danley with the Safe Connections. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation.
So let's talk a little bit about, for somebody who maybe doesn't know, what is Safe Connections?
So Safe Connections, we're a Missouri nonprofit. We work to prevent and end domestic and sexual violence. And we do that through our programs. One is our crisis intervention. It's 24 hours. 24 hours. We also have text support through the same number. And then we have our individual and group therapy. And then my favorite program is our prevention education.
Yeah, because if you prevent it,
we're out of a job.
And that's what we want to be.
Yes.
Now, you were mentioning earlier, before we came on camera, you were talking about the texting, and I think that is something that's very important nowadays because, like you said, it might be hard to get away for a phone call.
Right. It may be hard to get away and find a private space to make a call to that 24-hour crisis helpline, but most people, you can kind of text, can get that text message through. We also wanted to do text support for our youth because, you know, today that's how they communicate, right, is through text. And so that was something that came out of the pandemic. We had already been talking about it as an organization, but the pandemic just made us push it ahead and get it started. So we started that in March of this year.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Now, Safe Connections typically does an event, but this year it's a little bit different.
Yeah, it is. So in the fall, we typically have our gala, and it was originally scheduled for November 5th, and that's our Lotus Ball Gala. But, you know, with everything that's still going on with the pandemic, we decided to change it up a little bit this year. And what we decided to do is put the focus more so on Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is why I'm wearing purple. And so for the whole month of October, we are hosting what we call our Lotus Ball Unevent. And what that is that the community can support survivors of domestic violence all month long by making a donation to Safe Connections or signing up to volunteer with Safe Connections. And there's several options for doing that. So it allows us to be able to put some focus on our social media and e-blasts and community outreach on educating the community about what opportunities there are to receive help, especially for some of those communities that would not normally reach out for help. So
yeah, we were talking about that also. What are those communities that really maybe sometimes don't reach out for help as much? Yeah,
so I think right now our clients are kind of a nice mixture. It's probably about 40% African American and about 49% white women or Caucasians. And so what we wanted to do was make sure that we were able to have some kind of positive impact and outreach to other African American communities, Hispanic communities, immigrants, and refugees, because a lot of times they don't know that the services are there. And so we really wanted to focus on awareness. And all of our services are provided free of charge to those we serve. So we never want a finance to be a barrier to receiving services.
Well, domestic violence is a huge issue.
It is.
And I feel like everybody knows somebody that has been affected by it. Mm-hmm. Do you have any words of wisdom to kind of help those people, other than, of course, reaching out to an organization like yours?
I think from my personal story, for me, one of the hardest things about working for a domestic violence organization is that, like you said, it affects us all in some way, shape, or form. So we know, and having those relatives or someone that's dealing with domestic violence, and we have no idea of how to help them.
Right.
And so that's one of the things that we focus on as well, because you don't have to be a survivor or someone that's in the midst of that situation. You can be a family member or friend and still call our crisis helpline to get some resources or advice on how to help that person that's dealing with it right now.
See, I didn't realize that, and I think that is a big part of it, because sometimes it's easier for the person a little bit outside of that relationship to see what's happening.
Right, right, and it's really hard. It's easy for us to say, why doesn't he or she just leave that situation?
Right.
And it's not always that easy. The question should be rather, why doesn't that abuser stop abusing? And so we want to definitely focus on that and help as much in the community as we can by providing insight into what a safe relationship is, and make the community aware of some red flags, some things they can look for, such as maybe that your significant other is trying to control what you do technology-wise. They want your passwords, they want to see your phone, or want to, just isolate you from your family and friends. Just those kind of red flags.
I mean, I think the red flag tips are very helpful. Are there any other quick ones that you can come up with off the top of your head to kind of just inform the audience? Maybe they're not aware of some of those.
I would just probably say, as I think about youth, technology is a huge thing with our youth. And so that's kind of the way with our youth, one of the ways that a dangerous situation can start, because it starts with that person wanting to know, who you're texting or what you're doing on Facebook or Instagram or whatever the new technology thing is today. And so I think initially a young person would think, oh, they're interested in what I'm doing, right, that they're being more interested.
They care.
That they're trying to be protective, or they care, and it's not. It's really about control.
Wow, that's huge.
It's really about control.
I'm assuming people can help you guys by volunteering or donating any time of the year. How would someone do that?
They can simply go to our website at safeconnections.org and fill out a volunteer application. Or they can call our office at 314-646-7500 and say, hey, I want to volunteer. And we'll help them get started.
Now, are you looking for more for volunteers or for financial assistance, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both, a little bit of both. We actually just opened our office, physical office, back up to clients coming in and volunteers coming in at the beginning of this month, at the beginning of October. But we're always looking for financial support, because especially as we're getting into the holiday season, we have what we call our holiday haven, where we have invite our clients in and they can kind of shop for holiday gifts. We're always in need of gas cards and grocery store cards and just things of that nature. So in any denomination, even $5, anything helps, because when a person is trying to escape that situation, they need money they may need gas for their car, or just to be able to buy groceries, and especially if it's not just them, if they're escaping that situation with kids in tow. So.
Right, and sometimes I don't think you think about maybe the person who needs to escape doesn't have a job and doesn't have income coming in, and they might need some help like that.
Right, and that's one of the reasons why I am really partial to United Way. We are a United Way allocated agency, and so what that does is allow us to be a part of a safety net of other organizations that can provide a variety of services to those who are trying to get out of those situations. It allows the community to help each other.
And that's very important. And I feel like a lot of times when people hear domestic violence, they think the woman is the one who is, and a lot of times that's true, but that's not all you service.
No, it's not. About 80% of the time, survivors identify as female, but domestic violence, like you said, affects everyone, and especially those in the LGBTQIA plus community. It can affect anyone. Safe Connections serve everyone. You really have to be human, which is our joke. You really have to be human to receive services. And as I said, our services are free of charge, because we never want cost to be a barrier to someone receiving the services that they need.
And I think that is very important. Let's tell everybody one more time where they can benefit from those services and how they can find out more information.
You can go to our website at www.safeconnections.org. Call our 24-hour crisis helpline at 314-531-2003, or call our office, 314-646-7500.
Thank you so much for joining me and telling everybody today.
Thank you.
Now, they, of course, are looking for either financial or volunteer situations, so feel free to reach out to them. Of course, you can always follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. That is going to do it for us right here, but keep it right here on STL TV and Experience St. Louis.